Welcome to CTV News, your Canada. It's Wednesday, December 31st. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
New Year's Eve celebrations are about to look much different at the Caruso Club this year. Instead of a formal gala, the club has decided to lean into a Nickel City classic, porchetta bingo.
We've heard some feedback from like younger people that cost is important to them. So keeping that in mind was really important to us.
200 tickets have been sold so far, which includes a bingo card, snacks, a toast at midnight, and dancing. But the night isn't just about the game. It's also about the history.
It was actually my great uncle who brought his recipe of porchetta that we actually know here in Sudbury. There's many different variations of porchetta, but the one integral to the Sudbury community was first introduced back in the 30s from my great uncle.
In Sudbury, Ontario, porchetta is the food of the city.
There will also be a screening of the documentary Porchetta de Sudbury, which explores how an Italian roast became a cultural icon of the North. The creators of the 25-minute film will be at the Caruso Club for the event.
For most of us who grew up in Sudbury, I don't think many of us would really have even known that what we call porchetta is unique, and that the way that we interact with that food is uniquely Sudburian. And I think it's really interesting to try and step outside of sort of like your upbringing and examine a component of it deeply. And that gives you like this cool perspective.
The Italian community in Sudbury really welcomed us with open arms. We, were able to work with and film with, essentially all of the main sort of like staples and institutions in the Italian community in Sudbury, like the Caruso Club, Regency Bakery, Torini's, DNA Meats.
There are still tickets available, which can be purchased online or by phoning the Caruso Club directly. The doors open tomorrow night at 6:30. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
In the Ishkadewin courtyard at Algonquin College, students and staff are learning an ancestral practice passed down through generations.
Today we are going to be dry scraping a deer hide.
The Mamadoswin Center, which supports Indigenous learners and offers cultural programs on campus, brings in knowledge keepers to share these traditional teachings.
Very gentle strokes.
Tammy Pazenda-Watch Tawashi is guiding students through every step.
What I do is I tan hides, moose hides, and deer hides. But I do it the traditional way in terms of transforming it into smoked tanned leather by using two hands and hand tools.
The workshops show how deer and moose hides become soft, usable leather, the material behind many traditional goods.
Traditionally, this is where our moccasins come from, right? It comes from the moose, it comes from the deer. So any leather goods, if you want to make, I like to make earrings, handbags, moccasins, vests.
Student Keon Everhart says a class like this provides a connection to nature.
I feel like it's an amazing experience for me because I've never done it before, and I'm really proud to be able to show people that I've done this. I think it's amazing. It's a cultural experience for sure. I feel very connected to the nature around me, and whenever I get the chance to learn about it, I come and I participate. And it also builds a community.
One of the goals is to highlight and reflect on Indigenous culture and practices.
Land-based learning is part of our mandate at the Mamadoswin Center, and so we do try to do this type of activity or something similar at least once or twice a year.
Engagements with knowledge keepers such as Tammy Cote today is really a part of our community, and Algonquin College has made a real commitment to learning about Indigenous peoples, engaging with Indigenous peoples, and listening to Indigenous peoples.
Light pressure, because if you go too hard, you're going to break.
As for Tammy Pazenda-Watch Tawashi, she says the workshops also ensure traditional skills are passed on to future generations.
My goal is to revitalize these teachings so more people are learning the traditional teachings of our ancestors.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
Thank you for calling Collins. Cole speaking. How can I help you?
60 years in business is something just a few retailers are able to celebrate.
It's a real accomplishment for our family, so it's exciting for us, exciting for London, and yeah, we're happy to be here.
From humble beginnings with one small London location in 1965, Collins Clothiers has expanded to include 7 corporate stores in southern Ontario, with its main location on Adelaide Street South. There are also 140 wholesale spots across the country. Kurt Collins is the third-generation owner. It all started with his grandmother, Judy, offering wedding gowns and formal wear.
Small little store on Worley Road. She just decided one day that she was working in the existing store and she wanted to go on her own, so she did. Dad took over, built the company up, and I took over probably fully about 10 to 15 years ago, and it's grown tremendously. Yeah, we're up to almost 70 employees, 40 full-time, 30 seasonal employees. So, but it's changed so much. We were, once tuxedo rentals and bridal, now we're clothing.
For more than 20 years, Collins has been selling men's clothing. However, formal wear still makes up a big part of their business, making up for 50% of sales.
Corporate stores are now doing tuxedos, suits, men's clothing, boys' clothing, everything related to clothing now. So we've just expanded to offer much more than we did at one time.
Over the years, the Collins family have supported the community that has supported them.
Well, I've always believed that if you give back to the community supports you, right? We saw that through COVID, we saw it through all the years, but we're a big proponent of charity. We do lots of charity with the London Health Science Centre, Child Can, and many others.
And as for the next 60 years,
it's humbling to see where we've got to. I think it's just amazing. Where do I see us? Just continue to offer value, customer service. I think that's the big thing that we're going to focus on is just the customers and building it from there.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
The ice is all set for the New Year's Eve Family Fun Fest. It's become a signature event with skating, live music all day long, a Wildcats game, and plenty of activities for kids. It's the 4th annual outdoor-indoor community party, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
And it's growing every year, and last year we had approximately 20,000 people here at the peak of the event, so it was quite an afternoon, quite an evening.
Family fireworks at 7 and the grand display to ring in the new year at midnight. There's also a s'more station for the little kids and a beer garden for the grown-ups.
Kodiak Transpo this year are providing free bus service from 5:30 in the afternoon up till midnight, so they'll get you here safely, they'll get you home safely.
For many in Moncton, New Year's Eve means going to see the sold-out Wildcats game.
New Year's Eve, we're coming here to Fun Fest. We're going to the Wildcats game, have reservations at a restaurant nearby, and staying at the hotel across the street.
We're going to go to the Wildcats.
Come to the Wildcats game, watching some hockey, and then probably watch some fireworks after.
It's also a night to spend quality time with loved ones.
Tomorrow, I will celebrate with my friends, with my family, together, eat a lot.
I'm going to link up with some friends, celebrate the new year, and just have a good time.
I'm planning to come here with my kids, and also we'll watch the fireworks.
For others, it's a travel day.
We're going to fly back to Alberta in Calgary and spend it with some friends out that way.
We're going to see a hockey game, the regiment against the Sea Dogs in St. John.
Lots to see and do on the biggest party night of the year. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
14-year-old Ava Darbalay is used to strapping on skis as a member of Team Saskatchewan in biathlon. But this year, she has taken on a new sport, luge.
It's pretty different. The sport's more technical than you would think, so that's been interesting to learn. And it's not as cardio as skiing, which is way different, but it's lots of fun.
Darbalay attended an RBC training ground camp back in May in Regina and was identified as a potential future Olympian in luge. She is one of only 35 Canadian athletes to receive funding through RBC that is designed to put athletes on the fast track to recognizing their Olympic dreams.
Right away, I could see, with her, that she was picking up the skills really quickly. She was really working with us. She listened to our feedback. She implemented it. So I could see, it was a first sign that she could definitely be a great fit for our sport.
Despite the newly found commitment to luge, in January, Darbalay will take part in the second of 4 week-long training camps in Whistler. That doesn't mean Darbalay has put her first love, biathlon, in the rear view.
I'm still being competitive in biathlon. My provincial coach has definitely encouraged me to stick with the sport and do both because my goal is to also go to the Canada Games for biathlon next year.
The multi-sport athlete told CTV News she fell in love with biathlon because of her affinity for skiing and being outside in the winter. And as for the best parts of her newfound sport of luge,
The speed, you go so fast and it's just like, it's a thrill, it's adrenaline, I love it.
Darbelet says qualifying for the 2030 Winter Olympics in the French Alps may be a long shot, but, quote, we will see about 2034 in Salt Lake City, Utah. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Pu basculer en quelques jours ou quelques semaines.
Quebec politics, always full of surprises.
It's gonna browse.
Est-ce qu'elle vous a parlé de fling-flang?
Oui, elle a dit quelque chose comme ça, fling-flang.
Par ailleurs, Pablo Rodriguez a confirmé que lorsqu'il a rencontré Marois Risky, elle aurait évoqué du fling-flang.
Un fling-flang libéral à Ottawa. Je veux juste revenir sur la question du fling-flang, s'il vous plaît, parce que j'ai été clair là-dessus aussi.
Now, you may not have heard the term before the latest political scandals, but fling-flang isn't new.
No fling-flang with that.
Quebec politicians have been saying it for years, although you won't hear it during question period at the National Assembly anymore.
Le début d'une nouvelle aventure.
That's because the term was banned from the legislature by Speaker Jacques Chagnon back in 2012. Like more than 400 other words and expressions, it's considered unparliamentary language.
Hello.
But at news conferences, the term fling-flang flows freely. We did a deep dive into the archives, and here's just some of what we found.
Nous autres, les députés, on s'occupe du financement dans nos comtés. Moi, ce que je peux vous dire, c'est que dans le mien, il n'y a pas de fling-flang.
Il y a eu quand même un fling-flang là-dedans, hein, dans ce dossier-là au départ. Là.
C'est insultant, c'est révoltant. Encore une fois, c'est un autre fling-flang.
Elle est quand même présidente du Conseil du Trésor et elle a fait du fling-flang avec les places à 7 $.
Puis, comme par hasard, ça parle de ça au CA en septembre, puis on dit oh, il y a un risque médiatique et politique élevé. Ils ont décidé de faire du fling-flang.
Fast forward to the final months of 2025. Divided by a controversy, with both paying a steep political price, Marois Risky and Pablo Rodriguez haven't been seen together in weeks. But back in October, they were side by side, united in their criticism of the CAQ.
Désolé, là, mais on est en train de faire un fling-flang.
So where does the term fling-flang come from? We decided to ask a language expert.
Thanks to the good people from Bibliothèque et Archives Nationales du Québec, I've decided to look up, the instances in which fling-flang has been used. But then I faced right away a conundrum. How do you spell this? There are different ways to spell it. I mean, it could be just one word, fling-flang altogether. It could be fling-flang with an hyphen or without an hyphen. It could be fling-ng or fling-g-n-e.
While there's no clear consensus, according to Benoit Mélenchon, one spelling appears to be more popular.
Fling with a G seems to be leading the pack, 5-1 to the other spelling. But see, since it's not in any dictionary, your spelling is as good as mine. So, and this complicates things when you look up the word. Obviously, the most clear etymology of the word would lead back to English, to flim-flam. Flim-flam meaning exactly the same thing. So it's the same word, but pronounced differently.
But what exactly does it mean?
In French, malversation works. In English, I don't know exactly what I would use, but we're dealing with something that is not very clear. It's something maybe illegal. We don't know if it is. So it's not a crime. So we couldn't use crime as an equivalent. It's something that is not supposed to happen, that has happened, it seems, but nobody knows exactly what it is.
Here's how political analyst Tom Mulcair described it in a recent TV appearance.
That there were shenanigans. They used the French word, which is actually a bit of a borrow from English, of les fling-flang, basically saying, okay, there was some stuff that was simply not kosher around his leadership campaign.
And what about brownies? Well, when it comes to Quebec politics, they're not what you think.
C'est quoi un brownie?
J'ai aucune idée.
Le ministre Roberge a déposé vendredi un projet de loi concernant, pour corriger une erreur concernant les brownies.
Quand on a vu les allégations de ce qui s'était passé
au Parti libéral, les fameux brownies du Parti libéral du Québec. C'est sûr qu'il fallait agir pour ça.
Once again, we asked our expert to explain.
Un brun is very common in French. I mean, that I would never use a brownie, but I know what a brun is.
Un brun refers to the color of a $100 bill.
I don't think that it has such a long history. The fling flang has a long history. It's more than 100 years old now. I wouldn't say the same thing for brownie. And people have used brownies over the last weeks, but not as often as fling flang.
Just a taste of the unique expressions that give Quebec politics a certain je ne sais quoi you won't find anywhere else.
I had a long and hard year.
Many are ready to leave 2025 behind.
Some food, some family, and good company.
Is how many plan on ringing in the new year. An outdoor bash is planned at the new City Hall skating rink, and keeping with tradition, All Saints Anglican Church is lending out skates for free.
Spree out chocolate, food trucks, DJ, the whole 9 yards. I have a little surprise. We're going to be showing the Team Canada game out here tomorrow night. That starts at 8:30, so anybody who wants to come out, watch the hockey game.
Lakeshore is hosting a fireworks show at 6:30 at the Atlas Tube Recreation Center, while the town of LaSalle will host its annual New Year's Eve fireworks show at the Volmer Culture and Recreation Complex at 7:30. Essex will host a noon Year's Eve celebration, a kid-friendly midday party with face painting, crafts, carnival-style games, and a big balloon drop at noon.
Scores! Go Shelf on Miller, and the Spitfires take flight first.
The Windsor Spitfires are hosting their New Year's Eve game at the WFCU Center. You can expect a countdown to midnight, in-game entertainment, and of course, party favors. But whatever your plans are for New Year's Eve,
it's a chance to run it back and do it all over again, right? It's an opportunity for a fresh start, a brand new day, a brand new year, and brand new challenges, brand new solutions, brand new opportunities.
New opportunities that will hopefully build health and happiness in 2026.
As a community and as a family, we can grow and be as strong as ever before.
I've had the shop for over 20 years, and VHS was dead for the first, I'd say, 10 or 15 years of my store.
The lobby on White Ave has always sold DVDs and Blu-rays, but lately demand has been growing for an older technology. The return of VHS tapes, as well as a growing community of collectors.
It's fun to show off new tapes that you got and see what other people are collecting.
Cody Cook says even though the quality is lower, tapes make up for it with charm.
Sometimes the tracking will be a little off, so you'll get the lines and maybe the sound warbles and stuff. It's very cool. It's a very unique experience.
Now, before you start searching your basements, not every tape is a guaranteed collector's item. It's usually ones that had smaller print runs or of more unusual genres and are still sealed. Not all collectors are motivated by nostalgia. 14-year-old Anthony Campianu isn't old enough to have watched a tape when they were new.
It's just the charm of them. I just like them so much. I think they're cool.
That hasn't stopped him from collecting more than 400 of them, many of which came from Movie World in Stony Plain.
It's very surprising when we get, 14, 15-year-old kids in here that really shouldn't have any connection with VHS.
Nobody can knock on your door and take your movie away from you like streaming services, and the covers are cool on most of them. I think I'll be getting this one.
Tapes from long-gone distributors like Media, Anchor Bay, and Vestron Video at the top of many collectors' wish lists.
The most expensive tape I've sold was a copy of the original 1978 Halloween, an original media release, mint condition. That was about $250.
The lobby's owner says the growing demand is similar to the appeal of vinyl and cassettes, although many young collectors have yet to experience the hobby's pitfalls.
I love how it's a younger generation doing it, because I think once they start moving around a lot, like from house to house, they'll realize what a pain in the butt it is.
A trip back to the days before streaming. Just don't forget to rewind. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Christy Patton and Laurel Holmes are flipping through the 2026 calendar fresh off the press. It's an ode to the town of Nanton and will raise some much-needed money for the Nanton Skating Club.
Not only do people want to buy this calendar because it's funny, it's a little bit cheeky, and you know, we have these really handsome guys in our calendar, but they just want to support the club.
And it's cheeky because of the pictures inside. 12 dedicated volunteers ranging from local sports, the Ag Society, and kids clubs were recognized by the community.
It's nice to be recognized, but it's also one of those things, is it a trick?
There's no other town that has this amount of support from its local people.
I really think it's an awesome way to raise some money for one of the local clubs.
Each volunteer was then told to pose for a photo. Some were snapped on the farm, the golf course, and even the ice rink.
It's not something I've seen in the community, so it's been a long time. And yeah, it's something different than a raffle ticket, and it brings a bunch of the community members together.
Anything we can do to raise money for the community and help out or help kids and get things going is great.
Without this kind of stuff, a lot of these clubs just can't carry on.
While the skating club raises money, the calendars can be purchased for $20. They have sold more than 150 and plan to sell more if demand remains high.
Any way we can highlight people that volunteer in the community is so important, because these people are the ones behind not just one project, but several projects within our community.
And for those who have called the community home for decades, the recognition does not go unnoticed.
It's a great town we live in, and to be recognized as someone that contributes that's worthwhile.
I grew up in Nanton, so it's ingrained. Everybody has given back to the community in the form of a service club or their time.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Nanton.
Beyond that symbol on the sidewalk,
I did that with a power wash.
And through this gate he keeps open for anyone to enter,
They come and they peek and sometimes they stop.
Is a yard filled with towering sculptures.
So here there's many stories.
But the story behind how Lorenzo De Francesco unexpectedly made them all,
This is when I was a little boy.
Begins when he was just 7. Growing up in Italy.
I woke up in the middle of the night.
The boy felt compelled to cut a broomstick in half, take a pair of scissors apart, and spent the rest of the night crafting a knife, which felt wonderful.
So there was a kind of working with my hands, an easiness.
By the time Lorenzo was a teenager, he was creating copies of famous paintings and dreaming of attending the art academy.
But my mother said, you better get a job.
So he studied chemistry instead and got a great job, but felt something was missing until he found the works of on-the-road author Jack Kerouac.
And I thought, this man lived a life.
So Lorenzo left his life in Europe and embarked on an epic road trip across America. But things did not work out the way he'd hoped.
And then you become nothing in San Francisco, and you're starving, and then you come here, you are nobody, you sleep in a closet.
Lorenzo says he was overwhelmed with anxiety before happening upon someone carving on the street, and suddenly saw the possibilities of what his life could be.
That I realized I can do that too. And then I realized that I was unstoppable.
Since then, Lorenzo moved to Canada, built this home studio, and now creates sculptures exploring all the lessons he's learned on the road of life.
Life will take you where you need to go without you knowing where you're going.
And life is also like transforming a slab of stone into a work of art. And it's up to us how we choose to sculpt each day.
Hopefully that you can do what you really like. It's a beautiful gift. But life is a gift itself.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.